Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. It's the end of the month, so it's time to recap how my account did, where I stand, am I hitting my goals, what's my capital at, and how much did I make for the month. So let's get to it. First, what you see right now is a listing of all the funds I hold. It's zoomed in so we can go through, piece by piece, from top to bottom. Right on the top, this is in no particular order really. I kind of add them as I go. But at the top, you see AMZ. Obviously, the column under risk is what I consider, of the high yielding funds. AMZ, although you could say it's medium risk, but overall, I just overall consider the YieldMax, for the average investor, high risk. All right. Not necessarily for me, but overall in the midst of things. So right now I own 230 shares of AMZ. My cost basis is $21.48. Again, I'm going from left to right. The current price, or at least as of Friday, the close, which was the last trading day of June 28th, I believe it was 2208. My current allocation, cost allocation, again, which is kind of irrelevant, is 9.16%. And then I have the original investment, which tells you how much I put into the fund, which is $4,940.40. This is the allocation that matters. Obviously, it's one of my top holdings. AMZ is 9.31% of my portfolio. Kind of high. My current investment, or we'll just say the capital, is $5,078.40. As far as capital gains, I'm up $138 on them. Monthly distributions for this month, for the month of June, I made $219.44. I have a yield on cost on them is 53.3%. Total distributions from inception, I received $1,137.65. And then that's without this month. This is the updated number is 1,357.09. Okay, so my distribution ROI, otherwise known as house money, I've made 27.47% of my original investment so far in AMZ. Total return, this is with distributions plus capital appreciation, I'm up 1,495.09, which is a 30.26% return. So not too bad for AMZ. I'm not going to go through every single fund, but I will go through NVIDIA, and then I'll kind of skim through the rest. All right. NVIDIA, I bought 180 shares kind of in the beginning, and I got at 21.64. Their trade price right now, or as of Friday, June 28th, was 29.31, which is crazy. My current allocation, they are 9.67% of my portfolio. Current capital shows at 5,275.80. Capital appreciation alone, 1,380.60. That's crazy. Most people would say, why don't you sell? It's hard to, right? I don't want to. I want them to continue to keep paying me. This month I made $461.34. My yield on cost is ridiculous. It's 142.13%. I mean, are you kidding me? That's why I'm not selling. All right. Total updated distributions, 2,358. And guess what? I have made 60% of my original investment back already on NVIDIA. That's pretty damn good. Total return, 3,738.60, and total return percentage, this is with capital appreciation plus distribution, I'm up 95.95%. So that is, just insane. Insane. All right, so I'll go through some, where are we at? Some other details. So monthly, let's go through capital gains, monthly distribution, and yield on cost for the rest. And then we'll go through towards the end of the columns. So Nefli, capital gain, I'm actually down 129.60. They did pay me 144.83. My yield on cost on them is 40%. Phoebe, I'm down as well. Capital gains 144.20. Monthly distribution this month, $83, and yield on cost 34%. YieldMax is I'm down 66. I was up on them last month, but doesn't matter. Monthly distribution, they paid $80.30. Yield on cost 32%. Ulti, I'm down 257. They paid me $79. Yield on cost 59%. Clip, I'm down 503. This is kind of the next one to go if I need more money to do options. But yeah, they paid me 73, yield on cost 32%. Jeppy, I'm down 141. They paid $82, yield on cost 33%. Capital gains on QQQY, I'm down 364. They paid me 160, yield on cost 57%. Spy T, I'm up $16. Capital gains, they paid me $13 this month, yield on cost 15.97%. IWMY, I'm down $414. They paid me $136 this month. That's a yield on cost of 55%. XDTE and QDTE, look at that. I'm up $1.11 on one, and I'm down $1.11 on one. I don't really have a big position. I only made $5 between the two of them. SFOL, I'm down $19.20, which is kind of why I've been buying them this week. They pay me $33 this month, yield on cost 14%. SPY I, I'm up $171 on capital appreciation. Monthly distribution was $35. Yield on cost 12.71%. And then I have QQQI, smaller position. I'm up $42. They pay me $18. Yield on cost 14.9%. And then FEPI, I'm down $42.40. They paid me $91. Yield on cost 24%. AIPI, they have not paid a distribution yet for the month of June. They should pay for the month of July. TSLL, I add my options here because, again, this is part of my journey. I actually made a monthly record of $631 trading options on TSLL. I guess you can ignore the yield on cost because it's kind of irrelevant when it comes to this column because this is for options. So let's keep going. So let's go to some of the other more important fields. So the last four, let's zoom in a little. We have total distribution, right? And then we have total return. So from the top, we talked about, let's try to get everything on the screen. We talked about up to NVIDIA. So Nefli, I've got 33% back from inception of my original investment. And my total return on them is I'm up 30%. Phoebe, I got 7% back, which is nothing. Total return, I'm up 2%. Again, when I say total return, this is distributions plus capital appreciation. YieldMax, I got 6% back of my original investment. I'm up 4% total return. Ulti, I got 14% back. However, my total return is in the negative. This is the only one I'm in the negative, I believe. I'm down 1.08%, but I think that one will be fine in the long run. It just hasn't performed well. They need to turn things around for Ulti. Clip, I'm up. I got 21% of my original investment back. Total return, I'm only up 2.47% though. Jeppy, I got 12% of my original investment back. Total return percentage, I am up 7.89%. QQQY, they paid me back 21% of my original investment, and total return, I am up 11%. That's not bad. Spy T, they paid, again, they're a small yielder, so they only pay me 2.98%, and plus they're new. Total return, though, I'm up 4.59%, not bad. IWMY has paid me 18.9% of my original investment, which is good. Again, if I can get any of these up to 100%, I'm just going to let it ride, baby. Probably still buy in if needed, but yeah, I can't wait to get to that point. The problem is, as I continue to buy in, it takes even longer for my original, my original investment to gain 100%. All right, so I'm up total return on IWMY 4.89%. Round Hills, I'm up total return 5% on each, pretty much. SFOL, I'm up 8%. Total return. SPY I, I'm up 14%. QQQI, I'm up 6%. And FEPI, I'm up 7%. AIP, I'm also up 0.7%. So before I get into the total monthly distributions, I do want to show you my current allocation of everything. I highlighted my top holdings. So my top holdings are AMSI, NVIDIA, Nefli, Phoebe, YieldMax, JEPI, QQQI, and SPY and FEPI. Is that going to change? Do I want that to change? Well, certainly I could add to QQQI. I don't mind that. AIPI, no immediate need to make that a larger position. Obviously, I just started the position, so I will add it. I wouldn't mind if SVOL is one of my larger positions. Roundhill, I'm slowly dipping in still. I'm fine with IWMY not being one of my larger positions. I would like SPY-T to be a much larger position. However, I haven't had a chance to average down. Clip, I don't need them to be a larger position. Ulti, I don't need them either. YieldMax, I want YieldMax to be like a 10% allocation of my portfolio. The only reason like NVIDIA and AMSI are this high, they've been performing, very well. NVIDIA especially, man. Look at the capital gains on NVIDIA. I made 1380 on paper, right? 1,380 on paper. And I know, obviously, NVIDIA can go back down, and that'll be lost. But it's fine. I'll make options premium all the way down. So yeah, those are my largest positions. I'm pretty happy with the current positions. If I had to sell any in the immediate, as I mentioned, I would sell Clip. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't have a desire to sell any of the others. I have no immediate need to add any new ones. As far as YieldMax, Defiance, etc. Although I have to say USOI has been on the radar, so I may add them. They are such a high yielder, but the problem is, just like the other Defiance, like QQQY, JEPY, and those, it's active. I have to continue. I have to buy into those funds every month, right, to keep my cost basis down. So that's the only issue. Do I really want to add another fund where I know I'm going to have to do that every single month? I don't know. I have to think about it. It is diversified. All right. Now, as far as the total monthly distributions, how much did I make? I made $2,350. So that is also a new record since I started this journey. And I did hit my goal. But before I get to the others tab, actually, I have to mention I did sell HCOW. The only reason, again, this is one of my favorites, but it's just not fitting the mold. It's not yielding enough. I didn't see enough, appreciation either. So between the no yield and the no appreciation, I had to let it go. I had a gain though. I had a capital gain of $29.41. In the end, they paid me $48.85 in dividend income. So they did well for me. So I have to thank HCOW for being a great fund. Will they be back in my portfolio one day? Absolutely. Just not today. All right. All right. So let's get to the recap and how we did for the month. So here we go. So for the month of June, if you look, let me zoom in. We got to get we want the column headers in there. Yeah, we do. We want them in there. Oh, God damn it. Stupid file. All right. So we have June. All right. So column B and C, this is the estimate, how much, I'm expected to make. So income-wise, I was only expected to make $1,712.65, and capital-wise, I was only expected to have $53,092.06. I don't know if you guys recall, but previously I wasn't hitting my capital goals, but the reason was I was still showing the contribution of $1,000 per month, and I stopped that once my wife quit her job, so I had to correct it. Because I think that stopped sometime in April. And as you can see, April, I've been hitting my capital goals as well. So basically, the capital is, it shows the goal of capital is stay flat, capital flat. So far, at least since April, I've been doing that. I've been staying capital flat. Obviously, the damage was done. I sold out of Tesla in bits and pieces. And the damage was certainly done. But since then, I think I've done a decent recovery overall. So for the month of June, again, I made 2,350.36. My goal was 1,712. And the goal is based on 40% of the prior month's capital. Because again, my goal is to yield 40%. So, and I use the prior month's capital because typically that's what you're making the yield on, right? So I'm not going to count the future income coming in because that's more than likely going to be after the ex-dividend date of the current month. Hopefully that makes sense. So obviously, yes, I hit the goal of income and I hit the goal of capital. Again, the goal of capital is 53,092, but this was a really good week. I mean, this was a really good month. Look how much I went up in capital. So that's insane. I'm at 54,554.84. And my yield on cost overall, again, this includes what I'm doing on options. I'm doing very good on options, to be honest. Knock on wood, right? So I yielded 51.7% this month. So not only did I yield 51.7% this month, but I'm up in capital, but past my goal of 2.76%. So this was a very good month. No assistance added and no realized losses. So again, that's the recap for the month. And since I had to adjust the 1,000 contribution, unfortunately, if I scroll down to my goal of 2030 retirement, it's a little less money per month. It comes out to around $20,000. So if I'm going to retire in September of 2030, that's $20,000 per month that I would be making. Is that enough to retire on? Well, that's about $240,000. So that should be enough. I certainly hope that's enough. And that's not including YouTube income or any other part-time income or whatnot. That's just, the dividend income from here. So again, the goal, I think, is still intact. This is without a monthly contribution. Hopefully I can get to the point where I can contribute new money. Again, unfortunately, my wife no longer works. So since we're dealing really on the one income, plus some YouTube income, it's enough to pay the bills. It's enough to get by with 2 kids and mortgage, etc., and so on, in a high tax state, of course, of New Jersey. Which, by the way, FYI, my property tax went up. So, thank you, New Jersey, for raising the taxes yet again. We already have the highest property tax, so I guess we're going to keep that. We're going to be number one. We're going to keep that title. So anyway, the goal again is to retire. I always say 5 to 10 years, but 2030 sounds good. So $20,000 a month in income, I think that would work out. My capital by then should be $620,000. But we'll see. Right now, I'm on target. I'm hitting the goals month to month. Again, capital is not as important as income. I want to always hit the income. And as you can see, I'm pretty much ahead, way ahead. If I'm yielding 51%, obviously that's much better than 40%. And I've hit over 40% every month except the first one. So all is looking good. I know the market could crash, tumble, and I could be, kind of get a little setback, which is fine. I know it's going to happen. People always ask, what are you going to do when the I don't know, they say recession, they say market sell-off, they say this and that. And I say the same thing I tell everyone. I'm going to do exactly what I'm doing now. I'm going to be reinvesting and continuing to buy. If I have extra money, of course, I'm going to put more money in the market when it's at a discount. But yeah, that's my plan. So again, to recap for the month of June, I'm sitting at $54,554.84 in capital. I made $2,350.36, and that's a yield of 51.7%, mostly because of, again, I'm trading options on TSLL. My current position, though, I'm holding 300 shares. A lot of my calls got assigned because Tesla's been in a bullish market, and this remaining 300 is probably going to go. But I do have cash. I have $5,916 in cash. So I'm going to continue to sell puts on TSLL. And if I get assigned, I'll sell more calls and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm doing both. I'm doing options on my own, and I'm paying fund managers to do options for me. The combination of the two has been working out with my busier lifestyle. I'm not going crazy. Again, I'm only doing options on one single ETF, and that's TSLL, which is a double leveraged fund of Tesla. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, as far as owning the different funds, the goal of these different funds, their goal is to yield overall 40%. That is their goal. Obviously, what I do on options is different. I've been trying to yield a much higher amount. So I'm expected to yield more than the 40%. In reality, I could raise my goal yield. If I could stay above 50% for 3 or 4 consecutive months, sure, I'll raise the goal yield to 45 or 50%. Some people may say it's unrealistic, but I also have to keep in mind a lot of these, like, the capital is going to go down, so my yield on cost is going to go down unless I continue to buy into the funds. So that's also something to keep in mind. So again, I think 40% is the sweet spot. Technically, I could just buy YieldMax and let them do all the work because they typically yield that. But again, I'm having fun doing options. I'm having fun buying individual, all these different ETFs, and I like them. But again, if I had to sell one, personally, I think Clip can go, regardless of international exposure or not. I don't know what the hell's going on in China. So, I mean, it's good to have it, but I don't need it, to be honest. So if I do need money, I currently have 2,100 invested in them. I could use that money to do more options and make more money. All right, so that is the recap on my monthly distribution. And again, I hit my goals. I'm happy. Those were all my holdings. We went through all of them. I know a lot of you have been asking me, so I have no issue showing them. So those are, again, that's it. I started this journey with $40,000, and here I am growing. I'm up to $54,000. Unfortunately, it's not going to grow as fast because I don't have that additional $1,000 monthly contribution, but I am reinvesting everything as long as I can. Keep in mind, this money, most of you ask, why do you invest in these funds? You're paying taxes. Well, I want this money accessible at any point in time. If there's a moment where 1 month I'm not going to reinvest, I'm going to use this money for bills or for, say, vacation money, then I'll do it. There's no issue. That'll be a small setback, but again, I'm trying to also live my life at the same time. So that is why I'm producing monthly income now. The idea actually originally was this was going to help my wife leave her job and stay home with the kids. But thankfully, YouTube has helped a lot too with that. So, and right now it's helping just enough. So if things stay on par, then we'll be okay. If things get better, even maybe I can contribute. But we'll see. I just hope things can stay on track and I could hit my goals and I could retire by 2030. That will be a very nice thing. I will be that'll be 6 years away. So I'll be 47 years old at that point in time. 47, 48, depending on when it falls. So, it's before 50, which that's still good. I still be a young man in the midst of things, right? But let me know what you guys think. Do you own a lot of these holdings? Or is there any of these holdings that you would say, all right, you got to get rid of it. You got to cut it loose. Or is there any holdings I'm missing that I should buy? And I know most of you are going to say Coney. Most of you are going to say Misty. The only reason I don't own them is I just don't want to deal with the exposure, the ups and downs personally. That's why I own AMZ. AMZ's pretty safe. I mean, Nvidia's been crazy too, but I think it'll be fine in the long run. I mean, so many companies are using them. Netflix, I mean, who's touching Netflix really, right? Netflix, of course, they're up and down. And Facebook, I mean, am I a fan of Facebook? Sometimes I'm not. It's annoying, but it's going to be around. Everything is freaking linked to Facebook, unfortunately. So I think they're going to be around. MSFO, why aren't they in my fund? That you can argue. I don't know, honestly. They should be. If they ever tank and have a massive dip, I should add them because they have a decent yield as well. But yeah, so that's all I got. Next update will be around August 3rd, which would obviously be the end of month for July. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoy this content, if you enjoy my monthly updates, please make sure to hit the like button. If you have any comments, concerns, or just want to, you have a question, leave it in the comments down below. If you want to help the channel even more, feel free to share this video and my journey with your friends and family if you want to help motivate them. So we have the calc. The calc is the important piece because you want to see, all right, when am I going to reach my goals? When can I retire? This is the Retire Now account update, and my Retire Now journey hopefully will end in 2030 if all goes well. I'm going to bust my ass until then. I'm going to make as much money as I can. Hopefully add more money into the funds. But if not, again, I'm going to reinvest. I'm going to do options. I'm going to capitalize, make the most of what I can. And then hopefully I can retire still reasonably young. My kids will be reasonably young, and we could do whatever the hell we want. Again, when I say retire, though, it's a little different from you guys. My retire is having the option to retire. Doesn't mean I'm going to leave my job. It just means I have the option to retire. I want to be able to have the option to retire at any point in time. And hopefully by 2030, I can say that. All right, guys, as always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, I'll try again next month. Keep in mind, yes, I'm sharing my holdings, but you should invest in what makes you comfortable, right? You should invest what helps make you sleep at night. Some of these funds may not be able to do that. So just because I own the funds doesn't mean they're a good investment. Believe me, I'm just a schmuck in a freaking garage making a YouTube video from a phone, all right? So you should not be listening, to what I invest in. You should listen to yourself. Invest in the funds that help you sleep at night, that help you on your journey, that help you, maximize your income potential. But that's up to you to do. You got to do the work, man. But it's worth it, right? This is worth it. It's good for you. It's good for your family. All right, guys. So that's it for the monthly update. No keyword today. No keyword on the monthly update. But again, just let me know what you guys think of the video. If you enjoy the monthly updates, should I continue to do them? I assume the answer is yes. But it's once a month. I'm not going to do it more frequent than that because it's kind of overkill. But for the people that do ask, can you share? Who do you invest in? Again, just look out for these videos once a month, and then you'll see. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next update on the next month. All right. Let's hope we reach our goals. Oh yeah. If you guys want to, instead of a keyword, why not just tell me how much did you make for the month of June? I'm curious. And who was your biggest payment? What fund paid you the most? And how much did you make? And what was your goal? Feel free to share that if you want. All right, I'm out of here. Have a great day. Later.